Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Two Shot Tuesday. It's our Getting Back in Shape, New Year, New You episode. Barry Nixon, along with the one and only Jason Riley, and we're thrilled. We are beside ourselves, truly, to have the best trainer in the country back with us, Andre Orlando. Thanks for being with us, brother. Yeah, here we are. 2026 has just begun. Well, sort of just begun. We're a little bit into it, but not too far that we can't still course correct. If getting in shape is one of our goals, thankfully for the three of us, it is.
Yes.
Andre, welcome, buddy. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for having me, I should say.
Yeah.
And it's always great to be on.
The first time on our YouTube experience.
Yes.
Now we've actually got video, which is exciting. We continue to improve just like we want to improve our bodies. There's our transition, Barry.
I like that, Jay. That's pretty seamless. All right, let's get to our first shot, and then we're going to dive right into this thing. And just full disclosure, I asked our digital companion, ChatGPT 5.2, to help me come up with a list of questions because, audience, I have been training with Andre now for 10 full years. We know each other extremely well. He's fielded almost every question that I could have ever have thought of. So I thought maybe it's time to let ChatGPT, given the parameters of us, being 10 years of training together, you're coming on a podcast. What are some questions that might actually make the interview even more fun? So we'll get to that, but let's first have our shots. Andre, what have you got there?
Well, Hendrix Oasium.
So what is Oasium? That sounds like a Star Trek word.
I'm not really sure. It's got citrus notes and natural flavors, and it's from their cabinet of curiosities.
Okay.
Fantastic. Oasium.
Yeah. One shrunken head per
Very
bottle.
good.
Okay, Jay, what have you got?
Hey, I don't want to miss one little bit of what we're going to take in. So I'm having some nice clear water, believe it or not.
Wow,
Barry?
I do believe it. I'm sticking with the Bushmills 12-year. I've been sipping on this for quite some time, and there's no end in sight. So here's to both of you. Cheers.
To your 10 years, gentlemen.
How's that Hendrix?
Very
with the lemon?
very floral on the finish. You exhale, kind of like gin, smooth on the way down, little burn, and then it gives you that floral, citrusy kind of finish. Not quite sure what citrus fruits are in it, but it is limited edition. So, I mean,
Ooh.
I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you got to love that.
We are
From
too.
the Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So
That
if
is
you find a
interesting.
bottle, I highly recommend it if you're into gin.
Nice. All right.
Amazing.
Gentlemen, let's just start off with the first question. What, in 10 years of training together, is kind of Andre, what's the biggest revelation that you have found training Barry for 10 years?
Well, the man has some big arms, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
That's
You've
not
grown by Andre and Barry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
actually, recently, Barry sent me a before and after picture of maybe 10. When was the first?
It was
picture
exactly
from?
10.
10 years
years.
ago.
Yeah.
Versus now, and that transformation again. It's 10 years, but it's 10 hard years, right? And he put in the work, and it was just amazing transformation. It's just what you can do with consistency, and I'll give Barry that. He's a hard worker, but he's consistent, and we never miss a week. And when we do, if we do, we make up for it, and that makes
double up.
difference. It's all in the literature. Frequency, consistency, it's all there, right? So if you
Nice.
work your ass off, even if you're not doing it perfectly, and you do it consistently, you're going to see results. And that's what we want. We don't want results tomorrow and then forget about it. We want results that last for the next 10 years. We want to get fitter and fitter and continue to grow and get stronger. And that's huge with Barry, as well as his arms, of course.
As well as, he is.
That's a flex, but
And for our audience,
Thank you. Yeah.
we are going to, if you want to see Barry's before and after, that is going to be on our YouTube card. We're going to have his before and after as our title card of our show just for this exciting episode. So tune in and see the before and after of Barry.
Yeah, there is
Peterson.
some nudity, but it's only above the waist nudity, audience, so that should be fine.
Yes, we will. Oh, I got
but
to
if you
crop
pay
those
now,
photos.
if you pay now extra money, you can get
Yeah.
the exclusive.
Yeah.
That's our OnlyFans channel. So get
Yeah.
ready for that to come out.
We'll put that in
coming
the chat.
hot. Yeah, put it in the chat.
All right. So may I ask a question from our list here with ChatGPT? And then Jay, I know you have some as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's one, Andre. What's the hardest call you have to make as a trainer?
The hardest call? What do you mean
Yeah.
by hardest call?
Well,
Elaborate a
when
little
you're starting with somebody who is brand new, like how do you
Mm.
get them excited?
Okay,
How do you
yeah, so-
ignite that fuse?
Yeah, a big thing is getting people engaged. And like I said, the key is consistency. So how do we keep people continuing to work out? So there's so many things I want to do with newbies, if you want to call them. so many exercises, so much we can push them. But my hardest part is actually not pushing them too hard, but holding them back a little bit and saying, listen, let's
Mm,
focus on building these foundations and the proper movements. And when you have a strong foundation and you know your movements, you have your form, you have your full range of motion, you can really build on that. So the hardest part is like saying, okay, I want to show you that we can do this. We can do what Barry is doing, supersets, drop sets, kind of all this kind of stuff, little length and partials, and we can do crazy stuff. But for now, we've got to work on full range mobility, and we can build that up. Because a lot of people say, yeah, I want to sweat. I want to get right into it. I want to burn all these calories, gain all this muscle. It's smart if we build a bigger foundation so we can build on that. And then when you're up here, 20 minutes and you get a full body workout, 1 hour and you can be destroyed, and you can recover from that and you can handle it. So that's the hardest call, is sometimes holding the clients back.
that's interesting.
Kind of controversy to what it makes sense.
Interesting.
Well, one thing you've said to me often, and it does resonate, is you use the analogy, I don't want to skip any rungs on the ladder. So we're not jumping ahead to the heavier weight. Even if you could potentially lift the heavier weight, you still want to kind of take it easy and just really ensure that you're not missing any of the steps, any of the bricks in that foundation. And that really resonated with me and it made a lot of sense. It's also a good way of, stopping yourself from becoming potentially injured, right?
Yeah, so
If you rush into it.
that exactly, that comes with 2 points there. So you don't want to get injured. If you rush too fast, you're going to get injured. But it's also, you can maximize your stimulus and you get great results from going here. So why are you jumping steps to get the same stimulus, if that
Mhm.
makes sense? You're lifting heavier weights, but with worse form, but you could use lighter weights and get the same stimulus because you're going to max it out, especially if you're a beginner. So why are you skipping steps? Why are you skipping rungs, right? See, Barry is listening when I talk. That's a good
I
sign.
am listening. I definitely am
Yeah.
listening. Jay, do you have anything you want to jump in with?
I do. Sometimes people say that they're time starved, they don't have time to work out, they can't work it in. So GPT had this interesting question. If someone
Mhm.
truly only has 30 minutes, what should they absolutely not skip?
Okay, okay,
Mm,
good. So that's a very
that's a good
broad
one.
question, but I'm going to answer
Yeah.
it. So it goes back to what I was talking about with building that foundation in one workout. If we're talking about, hey, what is the best optimal workout for muscle gain or weight loss or blah blah blah, that one workout's going to look like something over here. But for talking about like what's your whole, path from building from 0 to 100, what does it want to look like? It depends on where we are in the path, right? Where are we in our
Mm.
journey? At the beginning, are we building that foundation, right, and growing up? Or are we at the top where it's like, yeah, I'm fit and I can do everything and I want to maintain? So where are we in our journey kind of dictates what it is. But to simplify that and not give you an overcomplicated
Well, why don't you
answer.
just say if for someone who's more advanced? How about that? Somebody
Yeah,
who
Yeah,
sure.
is
yeah.
fit and they got 30
So
minutes
to
in and out.
simplify it, you want to target the compound lifts. You want to target a push, a pull, okay,
Mhm.
and a lower body, maybe a squat or a deadlift. So that can be considered a pull as well. So you got 4 big movements. Make sure it's resistance training, and you can definitely accomplish that within, especially if you're advanced, within half an hour. Okay, so
Okay.
always think of push, pull, a
Yeah.
squat movement like a knee dominant, and a hip dominant like a deadlift. And when you get those 4 movements, that covers all the body. And we want to primarily focus on resistance training. So again, within the rep ranges of, we could say for a wide spectrum, 5 to 30 reps, working hard. Okay, making sure you're putting effort in. Okay, and that's going to cover a lot of things. If you want cardiovascular response, then you just shorten the rest periods, and it's more efficient. You get cardio along with your hypertrophy and your strength.
Okay.
Push, pull, squat, and some sort of hip hinge or deadlift. Make sure you're doing about, 5 to 30 reps is a big range you can work with to get great
Right.
results. And make sure you're working hard. That's also really important. Make sure you're pushing yourself. Make sure when you do it, you're like, yeah, I don't want to do that again, but I'm going to, kind of thing, closer to your maximal effort. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense?
And that's
Yeah.
something that you would get if you had been training a little longer. If you're a newbie, you might be more inclined to throw in the towel sooner than you should. So how can someone push through that if you're brand new and you maybe don't have a trainer with you? Like, are there any like tricks that you can employ to try to get that new person to just give it 2 or 3 more reps, even if they feel like they can't?
Yeah. So number one is, again, when you're new, you want to focus on form, building that foundation, and learning how to push to failure. So what trick I
Right.
would say is start with a isolation exercise. Don't go to squat rack and squat to failure, because nasty things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Start with like a bicep curl or a cable bicep curl if you have a condo gym, or even if some dumbbells. Pick a weight that's a little bit lighter.
Okay.
Do as many reps as you can, just bicep curls. And when you're like, yep, that's all I can do 5 more. because I guarantee you can do 5 more. And then you do those 5 more and you say, okay, Andre was right. Do another 5. When you do another 5, you're probably getting closer to failure. Okay. So there's a lot of research and a lot of studies that show that when you ask someone to go to failure and then you yell and scream in their face and say, go, 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 they go sometimes 15 to 20 reps more than they thought was failure. So we're not good at guessing where we're failing. Our body is good at saying, hey, let's conserve energy. Let's stop. So like I said, do as many as you can and then listen to my voice, do 5 more. And then when you do those 5 more, do another 5 more. And then you're probably
Nice.
closer to failure. And
I feel
if I was wrong and I just physically can't, my arms are shaking, okay, I was wrong. You did failure and we all win. So there you go.
Nice. I feel like,
We
Barry,
certainly
you've
do.
heard that before.
I have, and
Yes.
it's definitely useful. Now let's have our second shot before we dive into some more questions here, because our time it always zips by when we're with
Doesn't
you,
it?
Andre.
It
Always.
does. All the time.
All right. So shot number 2, Jay, why don't you get us started?
Water. How about you, Andre? What have you got?
Another shot of Hendrick's Gym.
Yeah.
Water. Yeah, nice. Barry.
Beautiful. I'm sticking with the Bushmills 12 year. It's delicious. Here's to you guys. Cheers.
Can I ask a question, a personal question? So I want to ask on just how I've been. So we'll see how maybe some of our audience can relate. So I had a busy kind of end of year. November, I had to do some traveling, and then I got into the holidays, and then in January, I was kind of sick for a few days. So it became a bit hectic, and so I really fell out of my routine. So if I'm somebody that had kind of a daily routine, I do some mobility daily and I do some light weights daily. And now I've fallen out and I'm finding I'm having a hard time getting back on track. What would you recommend for me if I was to wake up tomorrow and say, okay, here's how I can kind of get things back and get myself back at it?
Yeah, hardest thing of getting back into the gym is just taking that again. Into the gym means your yoga mat, your condo gym, going to the gym, going for a walk, whatever your routine is.
My
there you go. Yeah, that's it.
Little bench there with some papers on
gym.
it. There we go.
I would say this. Look, the bottleneck here is basic psychology. You're thinking of the workout. I don't want to do that. I'm time constrained. I work so hard and then I give up and then blah, 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 blah. Just lie on the mat and do 5 crunches or do 1 plank or do some push-ups or do some stretches and just say 1 set and I win. That's all you got to do, right? Go to the gym. Just do 1 set of tricep extensions, right? That's all you got to do. When you get there, if you feel like doing more, you can do more. Well, you're already there. You might as well. I guarantee you get there, you're going to do 1 set and you'll be like, okay, I could do 3, maybe 5.
Yeah. And
So
let me just jump in here,
getting
because you already did this hypnosis trick on me, Andre, when it was during the Christmas break and I was like, I don't really feel like popping down. Andre's like, just go down and do some tricep extensions. What happened? I was down there for an hour because after finishing the set, I was like, well, of course I'm going to continue. So it's just a good way of just have it in your mind, do one thing. But one thing is certainly going to lead to more. And that's, everybody wins.
And if you do the 1 thing, great. Next time, maybe do 2. But just getting there and doing 1 set, doesn't matter what it is, just do it. Get your gym clothes on, though. That counts. Make sure you're set up, right?
Yeah.
Get down on the mat. 1 set. If you do it, great. And you're done. Okay, you're done. That's it. But start and build from there. Maybe tomorrow you'll do 2 or 3. But just get into the routine of actually going there and doing it. And it'll be a lot easier. Instead of saying, okay, 20-minute workout, or it's not 5 minutes. That's all you got to do. And 5 minutes compared to 0 is astronomically better. The literature shows this is way better. Going for a walk versus sitting on your couch, massively different. So to say, I don't want to walk for half an hour, okay, go for a 5-minute walk. And that makes a big difference. And hey, what's 5 more minutes when you're already out? Nothing, right? What's 10 more minutes when you're out? It's getting out. That's the hard part. Once we get around that, and once we have the habit, it's hard to break, right? So that's the key. Just start small. Little bites and build from there.
Fantastic.
Little bites.
All right.
I love it.
Tomorrow.
Okay, I have another one here from ChatGPT. What is one fitness trend that you would love to see disappear tomorrow?
But there's so many.
Yeah. So just pick one maybe that irritates you the most.
Geez, what's the top of my head right now? I think a lot of the Uber stability stuff, like I don't want to throw Bosu ball or anything specific into, but these extra overcomplicated exercises that look difficult, but they're neither good for hypertrophy or cardio, and they're kind of in that realm of this is just a circus act kind of things. Balancing on a Bosu ball and doing some weird press or curl or something, and it's supposed to be good for your balance, but then if you look at the literature, it's like you're just getting better at bouncing on a ball or a spongy surface. When we know that, doing a set of squats with a little bit of weight will increase your balance, because balance is primarily strength, right? So yeah, weird, funky stability exercises that actually just waste your time and take away from, you could have been doing more hard sets that build muscle and strength and longevity. So yeah, that's the
Now,
one.
if we colonize the moon, that might come in handy. That the spongy,
Well, actually,
but not all of us are going to go at once, I don't think. Yeah.
No, not all of us.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
There's a really cool exercise. They tie bands to your back and you jump around, and it's like you're on the moon. So I'd probably choose that if we colonize
Cool.
first. But
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I
Cool.
look forward to that next week, Andre.
yes.
Hey, do you have anything else you want to add, or
I
any
just,
other question?
Yeah, to kind of
Before we
bring us
go?
home, it's like, what
Yeah.
would be the one piece of advice that you would want to give? I know there's so much out there to our viewers, to our listeners, to get started today.
Yeah, I mean, think of where you want to be in 10 years, 15 years, 20
Very.
years, and think
Yeah.
of, what do you want to be able to do at that time? Okay. Do you want to be able to walk upstairs? Do you want to be able to sit up and down, squats, lunges, all that kind of stuff? Think of that and let that be motivation, because I've seen clients from 9 years old up to 95, maybe 96 now, my oldest clients. And the change in what you can do with resistance training is amazing. So resistance training, lift some weights, do it with reasonable form, okay? And make sure you're working hard, okay? And then it'll pay off in the future. Like a savings account.
Amazing.
Put some money into the savings account now
Yeah.
that you can dip into it when things are harder, when you're 70, 80, 90, 100, who knows how long we're going to live these days. So
Yeah.
lift some heavy weight
Amazing.
and enjoy
Amen.
it.
Barry, bring
I
us
love
home.
it. Yeah, lift some heavy
Nice.
weight. That's the best way to end off. Andre, thank you very much once again for being with us and sharing your wisdom and your expertise. And I know firsthand that training with a professional, it makes all the difference. Now, you don't necessarily have to do that, but if you are so inclined, highly recommend it. And Andre, you're doing the Lord's work, man. Thank you very much. I wouldn't be where I am today without you. That's the bottom line. And Jay, thank you for being with us, obviously, each and every week. You're the maestro of the show. You're on your own fitness journey, which is amazing. And you've caught fire the last couple of years, so watch out.
True. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. And thank you, Andre. These are always some of my favorite shows. So great to learn from
Absolutely.
you. All right.
All
Have
right.
a great night.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Two Shot Tuesday. The show is produced by Barry and I and edited by me. If you have yet to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, please take a second to do so now. It helps us grow, and it helps new audiences to find the show. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Two Shot Tuesday, and on Twitter at Two Shot Tuesday Podcast. Stop by, give us a follow, leave us a comment, and share your favorite episodes. If you have a question you'd like featured on the show, you can send us a text at 647-486-4848. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.